are 2 days away from the official peak of the hurricane season, and we currently have a major hurricane and a tropical storm in the Atlantic Basin. Hurricane Lee is now a major Category 4 hurricane, and Tropical Storm Margaret is now to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands. But our main focus in this video is going to be on this beast right here, which is Hurricane Lee. It became the first major Category 5 hurricane of the season yesterday and remained a Category 5 all the way until this morning, right before some wind shear started to impact the central and northern part of the storm. And that's why, looking at this thing on satellite imagery, it kind of looks a little discombobulated and messed up, but still, regardless of that, a very impressive and beast of a storm, to say the least. 150-mile-per-hour winds, which is only 7 miles per hour shy of being a Category 5 hurricane. And whether you're talking about a high-end Category 4 or a low-end Category 5, there's really no difference, considering there's only about a 7-mile-per-hour difference. Movement is to the west-northwest at 13 miles per hour, and that pressure is very, very low at 942 millibars. Considering how warm the water is to the north of the Caribbean and also to the east of Puerto Rico, major hurricane strength is still expected as we head throughout the weekend and even into next week as well. 140 to 145 mile per hour winds are expected all weekend long before some wind shear starts to affect the system, and it also heads into somewhat cooler waters, and then it'll be decreasing down to a Category 3, but still a major hurricane to say the least. Now, I know we all want to know, when is it going to be taking that turn north, and how close is this system going to get to the lower 48? The good thing is the majority of our forecast models, or pretty much every single forecast model that we can see, has the system turning out to sea and not really ever making a landfall on the continental United States. The reason for that is two different things. We've got a very strong dome of high pressure, or a subtropical ridge, that sits over the Atlantic Ocean pretty much all year long, and because it is high pressure and we are located in the northern hemisphere, it rotates clockwise, and we are going to be on that southwestern part of this ridge of high pressure, so that's going to give it a northerly movement. And then on top of that, we've got a very strong trough or dip in the jet stream pattern coming as we head into the middle part of next week, and that will also not only kind of act as a blockade sitting right over the eastern coast of the United States, not allowing it to come any further west, but this trough of low pressure is also going to create a lot of west and southwesterly winds that will also force the system out to sea, potentially making landfall somewhere near the Canadian Maritimes or Nova Scotia. But bottom line, aside from very strong rip currents and some rougher seas, we shouldn't be seeing any other impacts we shouldn't be seeing anything else as far as impacts go from this hurricane. So here's pretty much what everything I just said in a nutshell. We're still expecting the system to be a major hurricane all throughout the weekend, and then it'll slowly start to turn north as we head into the middle of the work week. And also, because of that trough coming down, it's going to create something that is known as wind shear, and that will also weaken it just a tad bit as it begins to turn northward, but still a very impressive storm, to say the least. Thankfully, though, aside from rougher seas and stronger rip currents, we should not be seeing any direct threats from this hurricane. Moving on from the tropics, let's take a look at the forecast for the weekend if you plan on going house hunting. Unfortunately, not going to be the best weekend to go house hunting, so I definitely recommend that you have a rain jacket or an umbrella on hand. We do have a stationary front that will be impacting our area, and that'll bring us a decent chance for some scattered showers and even some thunderstorms as we head into the weekend, especially for your Saturday. Thankfully, temperatures are not going to be outrageous, starting out in the mid to upper 70s, warming up into the low to mid 80s both days. I think our best chance of rain will definitely be on Saturday, still holding on to that chance for a few isolated showers and storms for your Sunday, but I definitely think that we will be seeing more in the way of rain on Saturday than we will be for your Sunday. Let's take a look at your extended 10-day forecast, proudly brought to you by Hunter Plumbing Services. And it's going to be our typical summertime pattern here, to say the least, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and also into the PD of South Carolina. That stationary front impacts us this weekend, and that's why we have elevated rain chances with temperatures in the low to mid 80s. It looks beautiful as we head into your Monday and your Tuesday with mostly sunny skies, highs topping out right where they should be in this time of year in the mid 80s. Our next cold front, which is that next trough of low pressure that will be steering Hurricane Lee away from us, will be arriving on Wednesday, and that'll bring us our next chance of rain. But other than that, it'll be absolutely gorgeous with partly to mostly sunny skies every single day. Highs in the low to mid 80s, overnight lows falling into the mid to upper 60s and even the lower 70s. Here's a look at your forecast as you head further inland. Our best chance of rain will be this weekend as this stationary front impacts us. Otherwise, we're looking at beautiful weather as we head into the start of the brand new work week with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Our next trough of low pressure steering Hurricane Lee away from us will be arriving on Wednesday. Temperatures will be falling back into the low to mid 80s for your Thursday and Friday under beautiful skies. Probably mostly sunny skies are expected. Overnight lows will be falling back into the 60s as we head into the end of next week and also into the upcoming weekend as well. Keep it here at Liam's Weather for all of the latest information, and I hope you all have an amazing weekend.